Lil B and I need to come back. We need a comeback is what we need because we're behind. Brett Blakemore, you're there. It's Frank and Amelia are taking it to us today. What's our score now?
The score is Frank and Amelia 54, Common and Lil B 17.
Ouch.
So plenty of game, though.
Okay.
I would like a comeback for the clock management. Here we go. Are we ready to play?
Let's play.
The iPad is over with Amelia and Common. The password is badge.
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet?
No.
Nico.
I was like, is that?
No, that's Nico.
Password is blank.
You want to do old school?
We might have to do old school.
Hang on, give him 1
Give him
second.
a second.
One
Give him
second.
Here, hit the try hitting the refresh too.
Refresh?
If you do that, that might help.
Like this.
Yeah, hit refresh. I don't know. Is this refresh?
Hang on.
Okay, hang on.
Like watching two elderly people work an iPad.
Yeah, this thing is, it's stuck. Yeah, you can't even refresh it.
We might have to do it the old-fashioned way.
No.
Here comes
Nico.
Nico.
Oh, is this tech support?
Have no fear.
Yeah, we have tech
Nico
support.
is
You guys
here.
have tech support. You're doing a little remodeling here, Common.
Yeah,
A lot of remodeling.
We're doing a lot of it. We're shifting everything from that side to this side. We're downsizing.
He's done it.
He did it.
We're downsizing. So yes. Okay, here we are.
Okay, I'm going to buy a little bit of time so Nico can get back to his room.
Nico.
Score,
Thank you, Nico.
if you forgot, Frank and Amelia 54, Common Little B 17. So you have the password. I believe I said it. I can say it again. The password is badge. All right, Common, you have the option. What would you like to do?
Second.
So, Frank and Amelia for 10.
Police?
Brutality.
No.
No.
Common and Lil B for 9.
Pin.
Badge. Good clue.
It is. But I couldn't think of. I'd like to go of honor.
It was
Of honor.
It was a
yeah.
two-word clue.
Yeah.
Just was.
All right, a little bit closing the gap. 54 to 26, Frank and Amelia lead. The iPad goes back over to Lil B and Frank. The password is speak. Lil B, you have the option. What would you like to do?
Second.
All right, Frank and Amelia for 10.
Verbalize.
Speak.
Damn it. Why didn't I think of verbalize?
Small vocabulary.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And you get to leave the office after the trash talking. That is smart.
I usually get killed, so it's just a rare moment for me. Little B usually wipes me.
The score, Frank and Amelia, 64. Common and Lil B, 26. iPad goes over to Common and Amelia. The password is angry. All right. Common, you have the option. What would you like to do?
I'll go first.
Common and Lil B for 10.
Mad.
Angry.
Layup.
Slam.
Yeah, that's a slam dunk.
Exactly.
People thinking conspiracy theory out there.
We needed one.
We needed it bad.
All right. The score is 64-36. Frank and Amelia lead Common and Lil B. iPad goes back over. By the way, I should remind you, you can watch this game of Password right now, KFAN.com/watch. iPad goes back over to Lil B and Frank. The password is gobble. Lil B, you have the option. What would you like to do?
I'm going to try first.
Okay.
Okay. Lil B and Common for 10.
Turkey.
Gobble. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I figured it couldn't be turkey neck or chicken or anything like that.
No, we
It'd have
talk
to be
about our
something-
gobbler. You
Yeah,
gotta have the gobbler down here.
Well, I was just thinking if it's turkey, it's got to be something really turkey related. And what's more turkey related than a gobble, right?
I like your thought process.
That was what went through my head in those 5 seconds.
We've got a 20-point game.
That's
Frank and
insightful.
Amelia, 64. Common Little B, 46. With all the 10 pointers. iPad goes over to Common and Amelia. The password is date. Common, despite being on a roll, you still have the option. What would you like to do?
I'm going to go second.
Okay. Frank. Frank and Amelia for 10.
Boyfriend.
Companion.
Common and Lil B for 9.
Dinner.
Guest.
Frank and Amelia for 8.
Prune.
Date.
Oh, damn it. I should have gotten that, Common.
Yeah. But
Dinner was good.
Yeah.
Dinner. I couldn't think. Just date.
Nuts.
Yeah.
a date's not a nut. It's a
Yeah, okay.
Well, you can put the nut in the date.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Wrap
great.
some bacon around it.
Yeah.
So, the score now, I believe, is... So we're on game point now. Frank and Amelia at 72. Common Lil B, 46. So the iPad goes back over to Lil B and Frank. The password is squeak. Lil B, you have the option, and there's no time like the present because they are on match point. If they get 8 or more, they win.
Okay,
What would you like to do?
I'll go first.
Common and Lil B for 10.
Creek.
Squeak.
Bravo.
Thank you. Okay, Common, let's do it again.
Yeah,
Let's
we
go.
need to.
What do we? 80? We played
Yeah,
80.
you guys
Played
are just
80.
8 points away.
I mean, that is related to squeak, right? It's
Sure.
not just a rhyme.
No.
No.
Creak or squeak. No.
Yeah.
that's-
Okay. I was just trying to, I'm going to get
Don't take
texts
this away
if
from me,
I-
Brett.
I know, I'm just saying, I'm going to get texts. So, all right. So it's 56 to 72. Frank and Amelia still on game point, 8 or more, and they win. iPad goes over to Common and Amelia. The password is T. Okay. Common, you have the option. What would you like to do?
Go second.
Frank and Amelia for 10 and the win.
Technical.
Support.
I wouldn't get
Common.
that excited about technical support.
Common
Well, when
and
that guy ran in here, I was excited. Fix the iPad.
Common and Lil B for 9.
Coffee.
Oh,
Cup.
Back to Frank and Amelia for 8 and the win.
foul. I'm going a different direction than Common.
Outage.
Common and Lil B for
my God.
7.
Golf.
Ball. I don't know.
Back to Frank and Amelia for 6.
Stand.
Foul.
No.
Common
Not
Lil
hear
B
the clues? Did you not
for
hear the clues
5.
and what Little B said? I mean,
I am listening.
Shirt.
Polo. I don't know what you're talking about.
Last one, Frank and Amelia for 4.
letter.
See?
T.
Golf
Technical.
tee.
I was going one direction. He was going
I was
coffee.
going golf tee, and then it was coffee or tea.
And then he said,
If I would have said crumpets, would you have said tea?
Yes.
Would you have really?
Oh, see, now I was looking at because it is
British.
Or if you would have said spot.
British. Oh, yeah.
threw me
I should've went sorry. I should have went spot.
Let me ask you about that. If it's TEE,
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Get
It doesn't
say
matter.
All right.
Say the sound T and you're in. It doesn't matter how you get
Well,
there.
Got it.
At least we're still
Got
alive.
it. Now I know. Okay.
That was painful.
That was
You are
painful.
still alive.
They were looking at us like we were idiots.
Well, I was going one direction.
Yeah, it was-
So we got to combine the whole
I mean, it
thing.
sounded like you were on a one-way trip to the couch if you didn't get that clue. So it's still on match point. Frank and Amelia, 72. Common Lil B, 56. So 8 or more, Frank and Amelia win. iPad goes over to Lil B and Frank. The password is wallflower. Lil B, 10 points go a long way. What would you like to do with the option?
I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go first.
Okay. Common and Lil B for 10.
Headlight. Just F.
Frank and Amelia for 9.
Shy.
Embarrassed?
Common Lil B, they survive another word, for 8.
Singer.
Pink.
Frank and Amelia for 7.
Quiet.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Common and Lil B for 6.
Hippie.
Janis Joplin.
Okay.
Frank and Amelia for 5.
Dance.
I have no idea.
Let's just do one more just for fun.
Why?
Common
This
and Lil
isn't
B.
fun.
This is painful.
Unique. There's nothing else to say. Brett, this word's terrible.
Amelia, if you're shy and quiet at a dance, what's the name that people call you?
Oh, wallflower?
There you-
Wallflowers, one headlight. Great point.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great song.
Why didn't you say there's a, what's his name? On the wallflowers,
Yes.
but isn't it Bob Dylan's
I
son?
thought
Yes.
that, but I didn't think you were cool
how
enough.
about-
I didn't think you were cool enough to get that.
Wow.
I knew the route she
Well,
was
I heard
going.
headlight and I didn't remember the song. So.
Wallflower.
I broke the emergency. We
Okay.
need tough words to stretch time.
Okay, not that word.
That was really.
Here we go. Frank and Amelia, they need 8 points to win. They're at 72. Common, Lil B at 56. iPad goes over to Common and Amelia. The password is urban. Okay.
Ouch.
Common, you have the option. What would you like to do?
We'll go first.
Common and Lil B for 10.
Rural.
Town.
Frank and Amelia for 9 in the win.
City.
Urban.
Well done.
Thank you.
That was
Thank
really
you.
good. You guys make
really.
beautiful music together. You guys should get married.
You guys should do a show.
Yeah, you should do a show and get married. You work
Those
well
last
together.
two were tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always fun.
And I didn't know if I could say suburban,
Sure you can.
but that's part of the
That's
word.
part of the word.
though.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I didn't. That's
a good
why I
point.
didn't do it. And yeah, rural. And you went town, and that was probably a good answer. I mean, maybe I should have went second. I don't know. I just know we lost. But you know what? We couldn't have lost to two finer people.
Oh,
No,
so
seriously.
we couldn't
we-
play against two finer people.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate
always a
doing
pleasure.
it. It's always fun, always great for some laughs.
Yeah. The only problem is we need about 3 minutes out of you before we go to break. Do you have any good stories? Is there anything
You guys
going
wanna
on?
plug anything?
Yeah.
Do we
Is there
have
anything
any
you
good
Is there anything
stories?
you can plug? Is there anything that's?
No, it's we've been. Tenna was asking us for months to come on, but like December, January, February, we're just so insanely busy
Yeah.
for our community,
Yep.
for our town,
Right, yeah,
for
sure.
the news business that we just kept saying no and no, and we couldn't do it. And it was great because then it kind of ended, and you get some peace restored in Minnesota and Minneapolis, and I worry about like reputational damage to our town, but hope we can overcome that. And then we went on vacation for a week, and then a war started.
Yeah.
So
while we were on
it's crazy times, right?
In the news business, you spend a lot of time. I mean, even I did news when I was in Great Falls for a little while, and then I did news when I was at the Forest Lake radio station, and you get all kinds, and it's the bad news. That's Paul Walsh works for the Star Tribune, and we text and talk more than people know.
He's an excellent reporter.
Yeah, I texted him one time and said, I don't know how you do it, because he gets all the awful stories, local crime stuff, to the horrible stories. How did he? Goes, it's hard. It's hard to do stories about murder and this and that, or just whatever. And then there's death involved, no matter what it is. It's just hard to cover crime, the crime scene, all of those.
And also when it's like breaking news and you're filling space.
Yes.
Like I was just wondering, like, did you guys both go to college for broadcasting? Like, is this something that they teach you, or do you learn how to handle breaking news as you are in the business? Like, do you remember tools that you were taught?
I think you learn it as you're in the business, I think. Yeah. Or you either have it already and then you can learn, or those who don't learn it, you just start to learn that you have to keep up with the news all the time. You have to know what's going on in the community. You have to know all this stuff. You have to know a little bit of everything, because you don't know what you're going to have to throw in or when something happens, right?
Well,
and if a producer's in your ear saying, okay, keep talking, like we got another whatever. It's like
Frank is really good at that, as you can imagine. He likes to talk.
Can fill the space, can you?
I've not had a lot of experience at though, but when I was in Wyoming, in a small town called Kemmer, I don't know if you'll even remember the story. This would have been back in the 80s when somebody he was a former deputy sheriff. He joined Posse Comatotus. Have you heard that?
Yes,
sure.
He and his wife held elementary school kids hostage, claimed he had a bomb. This was in Cokeville, Wyoming, not cocaine, but Cokeville, which was 40 miles from, we were the only radio station in that area, at Kemmer, Wyoming. So our news guy he was holding kids hostage. He leaves. I'm back at the radio station. For the next 12 hours, I was on the phone with every news gathering organization, not only in the country and the world. They wanted to get news, but it was the biggest news story of the day. So I'm on the phone lines. We've got 6 of them. They're blinking. All of a sudden it's like, okay, we've got CNN on line 1. You go to CNN on line 1. Then all of a sudden I was on the BBC in England, and it's just, they're asking you questions rapid fire. You're trying to keep track of the story. It was exhausting by the end of the day. I did that probably for, 4 or 5 hours straight until it's finally settled down. The bomb went off, but nobody got hurt except for the 2 people. They got killed. But the kids survived. But it's that when breaking news, is happening, you're right in the middle of it. You have to think fast. You really do. Yeah.
And we've been in a relentless cycle of that for a long time now. Well, I think it is a skill, like you said. That's a skill to be able to talk and keep talking and keep talking.
Yeah, and make it sound natural, and then keep the facts straight, because the stories are generally very fluid and they're changing all the time. You can get misinformation, bad information. So it's all that. We thank you as always for coming in. We'd love to have you again as always.
Love to.
Great fun.
Thank you guys.
Thank you very
have a
much.
great weekend.
Frank and Amelia will take a break, come back with more Common Man program here on the Fan. Oh, Libby, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
We'll be back after this here on the Fan.
If you want to chime in what's happening to your favorite KFAN shows, it's very easy. You can make your voice heard on the Brad Sean Bryant KFAN text line. Just let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That's 64686. Standard text message and data rates apply.
Wolves win last night. They beat
the Raptors.
Raptors. Toronto's a pretty good club, too. Balanced scoring. Ant didn't play hero ball. Clamped down defense. Playing the type of basketball, and I'm the idiot, I guess. I'm the guy that expects teams to take some pride in their work and not cheat the ticket buying public out of effort. But I'm the idiot because now they've now climbed to 3rd place, and they've decided, okay, we put ourselves in a position in the first 60 games of the season, 62. I don't know how many they have left. 20ish? Can you look at the record real quick? Wolves record. I guess it doesn't matter what the exact number is, but I was curious. It's, low 20s they have left. in the regular season. They're obviously in the playoffs. It's just a matter of do they hold on to the third seed? I still think getting to the second seems unlikely. First, I think is out of the question. Second, I guess they could if San Antonio went on some type of a losing streak and the Wild continue to play serious basketball like they actually want to play. What are the Wolves at?
They are 40-23 this year. So that would be 63 games.
Yeah.
So whatever, 82 mince 63.
Oh, so it's only 19. Am I doing the math right? Because I'm really bad. I'm from Detroit. We learned to count in Detroit.
How?
0-1, 0-2, 0-3. So, yeah, and I said it yesterday. I've actually said it now for the past couple of weeks. I just have to try to, and I have a tough time biting my tongue because it hurts. But I just bite my tongue, bite my lip, and kind of just go, okay, we'll just wait. We'll wait till the playoffs start. And that's why I know there are people that think, I'll get the text messages from people. You hate the Wolves. You just want them to lose. No, it's just I just don't like the approach. From the very beginning of the season when Ant said, it just seems like we don't really want to play these games. And it's like, really? So you know what? Then I just don't really want to go to those games. If you don't want to play them, why would I want to go to them? And he was being serious. I mean, that's the thing. It's not like he was telling the truth. I admire him for it. It's they, for some reason, feel like an 82-game schedule is just too much to ask. And then they're told how hard it is. It's all sports teams. Oh, the travel you have to go through. You're changing time zones, elevation changes, circadian rhythms.
It takes Halvey 2 to 3 weeks to recover from time zones.
And then you start, I'm sure those players start going, I hadn't thought of that. You know what? There might be something to that. I do feel a little tuckered after coming back from a West Coast game and playing the second game of back-to-backs back in Minneapolis. So, but they are a team. It's that you have your mix of teams. I mean, most people, I guess, would still say, well, your Pistons is and your Thunders is. Those are the two top teams in the league, and they are for a reason because they've been in first place pretty much all year. You still got to consider them the favorites, but that's the beauty of the playoffs. A lot of different things can happen. We've seen 8s beat 1s before. It happens. I'm not suggesting an 8's going to beat a 1, but, if the Wolves get the 3 spot, there's no, as a 6 seed, they got to the Western Conference Final, so maybe they'll continue to, I think that at least now they're at the point where the stretch run, they can see the finish line for the regular season, so at least they are now trying, and I guess if at the end of the day all you're really concerned about is getting to the NBA Finals and winning a championship, then you're happy. And I am. I guess I just part of it's I need something to talk about. I'll just be honest. And two is I don't like the attitude. I don't. I got to admit. Especially when they say, well, sometimes we just don't have the effort, and that's the one thing you can always control. Meanwhile, another NBA story. This from just 8 minutes ago. So this is, I guess, sort of kind of breaking news. Adam Silver says NBA draft lottery system changes are coming next year.
Whoa.
To address the tanking. Says on Friday at the annual MIT Sloan Sports Analytics Conference, my favorite sports conference of all of them. I love the MIT Sloan Sports Analytics Conference. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver announced there will be changes to the draft lottery system as early as this season. Here's what he said. This is courtesy of The Athletic. We are going to make substantial changes for next year. I think where I'm on the fence, on one extreme, you could completely divorce the draft from teams' records. Just argue we could take all 30 teams, regardless of the outcome. That would completely disincentivize tanking. You could win the finals, and get that first pick. But then there's gradations of that. Is that the right word?
Huh?
Gradation. He's using words that are too big for me.
Gradations.
Gradati. And I think he means like there are different levels. Is what
Gradation.
Gradation.
A scale or a series of successful or successive changes, stages, or degrees.
Could he have just said there's different scales?
Yeah.
But then there's gradations of that. Then it goes on to say that would be an extreme change and one that wouldn't go over well with team governors, as a team that won the NBA Finals could very well end up with the number 1 pick all in just a few weeks. But Silver said the changes are likely to be smaller. He goes, not to exactly forecast where we're going, but I think I'm an incrementalist. I think we got to be a little bit careful, about how huge a change we make at once. I'm not ruling anything out, but I am paying attention to that. And then there's something significantly more than I would say just tinkering with the existing system. Story goes on to say, Silver isn't tipping his hand on what the league plans to do, and that's not exactly an easy fix to disincentivize tanking at all, but it's clear the league wants to do something about it, as the topic has been louder this season than in most years. If you remember, the league handed out fines of $500,000 to the Jazz for holding out their top players in a competitive fourth quarter, and a $100,000 fine to the Indiana Pacers for resting healthy players. So it goes on to say, Silver mentioned that a potential change could be similar to what the WNBA does, combining the last 2 seasons' records to determine lottery odds. Changes could also be made to pick protections, as that also has a huge impact on how competitive a team chooses to be down the stretch of the season. He goes on to say, where you have sort of arbitrary lines of protected draft picks creating huge incentives, to be the 6th worst record instead of the 5th. So there are a bunch of things we're looking at right now. We have to address it. And, and then finally he says, and just lastly, end by saying, I do think, and this is the tension, there are legitimate rebuilds where you have young teams that are genuinely trying to win games. They're out there trying to win night in, night out. There are also situations where you have teams, this used to be more toward the end of the season, where you want to see the young players playing under game circumstances, and those wins aren't as important. I don't view that as a kind of tanking we're experiencing right now, so incentives are off. And that is, when we talk about, because what he's saying there makes sense to me, because if you're a terrible team in a terrible city, like for instance, the NBA is known for, we play 8 guys. That's what we play. And you can even see it here. We'll have guys like the guy from Iowa, Garza. That was, I think was he like the 2-time NCAA player of the year or something? A really good player. Yeah. It looks like he has an NBA body. I don't know, back to the basket, that whole thing. But he rarely got off the bench. Now, I don't know. He's traded.
I think Boston's using him.
Boston might be using him. But we didn't. It's like, then I'm doing the old chicken or egg. What comes first? Being experienced, getting experience so you can be a competitive player, or, sitting on the bench where you don't get any experience and biding your time, and it's like, so I think there probably are teams that are saying, if you're out of it, you're at this stage of the season, you got 20 games left and you're not making postseason. It's almost like a passive tank. And they talk about passive tank. It'd be like, well, we'd like to move up in the draft a little bit, but we also do legitimately, believe it or not, I know you're not going to believe this, but we want to see what Brett Blakemore has. Brett Blakemore's been sitting on the bench the whole season. He was a 2nd-round pick a few years ago. We want to see if he's worth keeping on the roster. And so there are legitimate reasons for playing young guys in games. But it could also be, well, yeah, but you're tanking. Well, yeah, we are, but we're not. So it's a difficult, it's difficult to nail down, I think, but we'll see how it happens. Did I see Delano leads 1-0 over War Road?
I think it may be 2.
Is it 2 now? That game, and I think they're in the 3rd period now, correct?
I want to say they're in the 2nd. But it's been a while since I've looked up. I was focused on what you were saying.
You're supposed to be paying attention.
I'm paying attention to you.
Ask Tenneby. He knows. Well, with Tenneby, he stares at the hockey the entire time. Yeah. I guess I got to hand it to you.
Thank you.
You're paying attention to what the host says instead of just staring at the hockey screen. So the television screen to watch hockey. We'll update it and talk a little Distat-Lat coming up next. Common Man Program on the Fan.
Never miss your chance to know what the latest sports news is in town, chances to win tickets, or just knowing what's going on with all your favorite KFAN shows. You can follow The Fan, KFAN 1003, on all of our social channels like Instagram, TikTok, and X. Stay connected and follow the leader for all sports that matter, KFAN.
I guess you were paying kind of close attention. How do you do 2 things at once? Delano leads 2-0, Class A semifinal. They are just underway in the 2nd period. So Delano, the number 2 seed, leading War Road the number 3 seed, 2-0.
We do have Halvey in the back pocket if we do want it.
Yeah.
We could do it.
I can handle it. I can get us to 3. Trust me. I can get us to 3. If people want to listen, though, they should do what?
Go to KFAN Plus 96.7 or on the free iHeartRadio app.
Very good. And then earlier, Hibbing Chisholm advanced, correct? I think they won their game. I don't remember the final score. I think it was 4-2. But they won nonetheless. There was Vikings news earlier today. We're at that time of the season where it's business keeping, right? Getting all the I's dotted, the T's crossed, cooking the book, so to speak. Headline, Vikings restructure contracts of 3 top players to clear cap space ahead of free agency. Ben Gessling writes the piece that says, the Vikings need to clear more than $40 million to get under the NFL salary cap by March 11th, which is just 5 days away. Took a step toward that goal with 3 of the simplest moves they could make. They restructured the contracts of wideout Justin Jets Jefferson, left tackle Christian Darrisaw, and cornerback Brian Murphy Jr. That's according to a source with knowledge of the situation, converting a portion of the players' base salaries to signing bonuses that would hit the cap in future years. As we mentioned in the first hour, that's called kicking the old can down the road. The Vikings could defer up to $18 million in such a move with Jefferson, as much as $9.24 million with Darrisaw, and up to $11.3 million for Murphy. The team plans to release defensive tackle Jonathan Allen if it cannot trade him before the start of the league year. That would recoup $6.53 million by cutting him. Players like defensive tackle Javon Hargrave, running back Aaron Jones Sr. could also be cut or traded by next week. Those moves, combined with the March 6 restructures, would be enough to get the Vikings under the salary cap by 3 p.m. deadline on March 11th. Then he also brings up, because this was talked about as well this week, Jonathan Grenard could also be a trade candidate if the Vikings decide not to give the edge rusher a raise, because apparently that's what he's looking for. And tight end TJ Hawkinson could be in line for a restructure or cut as he heads into the 2026 with a $21.3 million cap number after a 51-catch, 438-yard season. They could also explore a contract extension for right tackle Brian O'Neill, who enters the final year of his deal with a $23.11 million cap hit. Then center Ryan Kelly's future in Minnesota is uncertain. The 33-year-old is slated to carry $11.71 million cap in the 2026 and might contemplate retirement after suffering not 1, not 2, but 3 concussions during the 2025 season. I think that I've heard that that's at least 5 that he knows about. There could be others, as we talk about when you're a younger kid, and especially back when I was playing football, and I played at a pretty high level. I don't know if you're aware.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was a fierce pass rushing, Rock of Gibraltar run stopping defensive lineman and a precise route running, sure-handed pass catching tight end. I played both sides of the football.
I always love that.
Coon Rapids Athletic Association, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. I don't think I underwent a concussion, but back then there was no such thing. I mean, you didn't. That's not what it was.
Did you get your bell rung?
Yeah, that's what it was called. You could see stars. You got your bell rung, so you didn't really know what it was. And so, back in Ryan Kelly, I don't know, could he have had him in college, in high school? What are squirts, peewees, bantams? Howard Pulley. I don't know. I don't know how many he may have had, but so. As we've said before, the salary cap is one of those things where I kind of just roll my eyes, shrug my shoulders, and shake my head. I mean, there is a cap; it's real. But as I've said a couple of times this week, I've never heard of a team getting to the March 11th go, couldn't do it. Don't know what I can tell you. Sorry, league, we couldn't. What's the punishment? We couldn't get under the cap. They always find a way. They kick the can down the road by restructuring, and I guess that only makes sense. In the case of Hargrave and Aaron Jones, I don't know. It says could also be cut or traded by next week. It's not for me to say if there is trade interest in either of those players. My guess would be no. Aaron Jones he's had a fine career, but you get to a point. Isn't he 31 now? I think he's 31.
I think so.
And we've talked about The running back position is actually starting to come. It's more in vogue now than it had been. If you remember, it was the worst position really to play in the NFL because of, every guy all 11 guys in the defense are trying to hit you. If you're a wide receiver, you got a cornerback, a safety, and maybe a linebacker. You got everybody, trying to try. And then we football, running back shelf life, people determined about as long as their rookie contract. That's when they start getting beat up, start to slow down. And then if they're quality, forget being a star. Like if you're a Jahmyr Gibbs or you're McCaffrey or a Derrick Henry or a Saquon Barkley, let's say you're a good running back, but not great, but you want really good money. And you're just a good running back. Well, then it's like, well, we just get a young guy that can probably, we can draft a kid in the third round, fourth round that can probably produce about where you are. So my guess is even if you were to trade him, I don't know what you'd get for him. Probably a seventh, I don't think you'd even get a sixth, but I don't know. And same thing with Hargrave. So my guess is those guys will probably be primed for being released rather than traded. The Hawkinson thing is, he's a football player. Here's what I can tell you about him. He's a man, he's a human being, and he's a football player, right? And he's good, but
he's got long hair.
Obviously he's not $21 million a year good. There's just no way. I think that would make him the highest paid tight end in pro football, and that's just not going to work. So how much of a pay cut would you have to, I don't know what's realistic for him to, first of all, what the Vikings can realistically, are they going to go, you're due for 21, we'll give you 2. Then he goes, are you kidding me, 2? Or if it's, do you give him 19? Do you give him 15? I don't know what that is, but these are the decisions that capologist and interim GM Rob Brzezinski and the rest of the Viking front office and coaching staff and ownership will have to come up with.
Real quick, I don't want to derail the train fully.
No, derail it, please.
Warroad has stormed back in what felt like 3 minutes. They have scored 3 goals. One of them on the power
jumped
play.
In again right away. What? No, it's 3-2.
Yeah, 3-2. Warroad now up on Delano in the second period with about 13 minutes left.
I should have went to a Helvey.
You could.
You had asked me to go to Helvey, and I said I can handle it from here. And then if we would have gone to Helvey, we would have heard maybe 3 or 4 of the most exciting minutes in state high school hockey tournament play. Wow. I'll go to Helvey.
Well, it sounds like they're in a break, so you might need a little bit longer.
Okay.
Well, the TV's behind.
Oh, how far behind? Must be a long way. They're skating. All right, maybe we'll do that later. And then again, the Wild made news today. By the way, no other trades at 2:00, right?
No,
we didn't get
Trocheck. Ended up staying in for the Rangers. So yeah.
Trocheck stays, but the Wild and Bill Bargain, Billy Guerin were busy today. The Wild are acquiring Minnetonka's, or as we like to say, Tonka's, Bobby Brink from Philadelphia, and the homecoming meant moving on from David Jirasek. Described in Sarah McClellan's piece is Brink, it says, 24-year-old competitive playmaking right winger who posted 13 goals and 13 assists in 55 games with the Flyers this season. He is 4th in the NHL. He's expected to arrive in Las Vegas in time to play for the Wild against the Golden Knights at 9:00 tonight. Brink was a second-round draft pick by the Flyers in 2019, left the University of Denver after 3 seasons, an impressive college career that culminated in the Pioneers winning the Natty. And Brink led all NCAA skaters with 57 points. He also helped Tonka capture its first Class 2A championship back in 2018. Then later in the day, the Wild facilitated a reunion of the Foligno brothers on their roster. Younger brother Marcus is out hurt. The Wild added older brother Nick from Chicago for future considerations. Wild coach John Hines is quoted as saying, "We've added some players in that I think can support the team that we have and make it better." And I think that's what they were doing. They were adding depth pieces. And, I know the McCarron acquisition was he's a talented face-off guy, right? He's able to hold his own with face-offs, and that's something the Wild, I think I've been told, we're really looking for. And plus, they need some size, and we talked about that earlier. I've heard that, over the last few years when the Wild have made the playoffs, game gets a little bit more physical, a little bit more rugged. And the Wild have always been lacking, I think, a little bit there, and they're hoping that McCarron can add to that. So, yeah, I mean, it's Foligno, Brink, let's play. We're ready to go forward, and it's like.
Do you like parades?
I love parades, and you know what I'll tell you. You know, we're not the only folks to do this, but you know, you always get the old. You'll see it on websites and in newspapers and magazines and on talk shows, you know. Of all the teams in Minnesota, the major men's four, which has the best chance to win a world championship? And it does seem to change from year to year. Just a couple of years ago, I would have said would be the Vikings, right? In a couple of years before that, if the Twins coming off that 100-win season in which they won 100 games and they snapped that 18-game losing streak in postseason. You might have said the Twins, which would have been kind of crazy, but you might have said it. And now, I think the Wolves and Wild are neck and neck. I mean, you know, the Wild obviously one of the best teams in hockey. Their record shows it, right? And now they're in that awkward situation where I just think the idea of trying to create rivalries through playoffs. I mean, what you're doing there to me is what they're not natural rivalries. Then you're trying to force rivalries, and I don't like. You got to beat them all. I mean, I will say that. Look, I'm a tough love guy. You know, it's like, well, yeah. I mean, if you have a record like the one, then you got to play Dallas in the first round. I mean, you know, what's that all about? But I would also say the comeback to that be, well, you got to beat them all eventually, right? But there is the idea. Let's say the Wild and Dallas was just a bad matchup of all the teams. It was the worst matchup for the Wild. Then you would say it's kind of unfair because you think, well, maybe Dallas could get dumped somewhere else and we wouldn't have to beat them along the way. But I think their chances are as good as any right now from the people that I trust tell me. And you know, let's face it, the Wolves when they want to put their mind to it, as we've seen the last they've won 5 I think in a row, 5 or 6. And they had a nice performance last night against Toronto. So it seems like they've decided now is the time to take the game seriously and start playing at a higher level. So I think you could give either one of those teams the a better than even chance of it. Put it this way: whether they win the league championships or not, you know, the Stanley Cup or the Culver's Cup or whatever, the Naismith Trophy. I think both teams should have. You would hope they'd be able to make a run in the playoffs anyway. So
yeah, the seasonal boost should theoretically go through June for us.
You would think,
and which is crazy to say because we're used to them. You know, the Wolves for years didn't do anything, and the Wild would pretty much not do anything, just get eliminated in the first round. On the playoff format, like let's say that they can't catch Colorado, like they're just too good, they're not going to catch them. Maybe they will. But if they couldn't, and it looks likely, because of this format, and I'm not suggesting we tank, don't PST me, I don't want them to tank, I want to win every game. But to get an easier matchup in any other sport, to get an easier matchup in the playoffs, you win. The more you win, the easier matchup you get. Technically, it would be better for the Wild to lose so they could be the 4 and get an easier matchup because the format makes no sense whatsoever. They're not going to do that. I don't want them to do that. I'd like them to catch Colorado and then you get an easier matchup. But the whole format of it should just be 1 through 8. That wasn't broken. I don't know why Bettman's the only person that likes it.
It sounds like you're wanting them to tank.
No.
That's what it sounds like to me.
I think the format is silly.
This text message just came in. I think we should talk about the hockey team or the basketball team, but not meaning those salary cap numbers that nobody understands. And then, of course, I texted back, leave the radio to the professionals or get your own show. I mean, if you wanted to send, then I gave him the win because I'm having fun with them. But it's like, he said, I think we should. This is what we've decided to talk about. I think the Vikings. This is a Vikings town. I don't need to explain it, do I? So, and it's headline news right now because it's the freshest news out there right now. These decisions were just made, and then of course we talked Wild hockey and we talked NBA earlier, and we were just talking NBA and NHL, talking about how we think both teams have a nice chance to make a little bit of a run here in the postseason. I was going to check the PGA leaderboard yesterday, and then I said, I'm going to do the old. No, I'm not going to look because I'm going to watch the. They do the replay on Golf Channel. I've not looked at the leaderboard at all at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Do you have it in front of you?
I do have it. So let's see. So
it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Something named Daniel Berger has a comfortable lead at Bay Hill.
Well, he's a talented player.
Clearly.
Yeah. You did a who. I mean, if you follow golf ever, you would know Daniel Berger. I don't know how he's done as of late, but he's a world-class player. So what does it say now?
Well, through 16 today, he is 13 under. Second place, or T2, is Aubert and Thigala at 7 under. So that's a 6-shot lead in first place. And then you've got names like Ricky Fowler, Cam Young, Morikawa, Batia, Schauffele, all kind of bringing up the rear. Rory, for those T10 at 4 under, and Scotty is lurking. He's only through 9 today, and he's 3 under, so he's T15.
If a 6-shot lead isn't in the second round's not that big of a deal yet. I mean, who was the kid that he won at Riviera?
Yeah.
What's his name?
I know what you're talking about.
Bridgman.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, he had a 7-shot lead at one time, and he only ended up winning by 1.
Shane Lowry last
Daniel Berger, after turning pro at age 2013, won the FedEx St. Jude Classic in both 2016 and 2017, and the Charles Schwab Challenge in 2020. The first PGA tournament played after a 3-month hiatus due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In February 2021, he won the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, clinching victory with an eagle on the 18th hole. So he's not a who. He's a pretty good player. He's Danny Berger is who he is. But yeah, he's not he's not the Scotty Schefflers and the Xander Schauffele's in the.
I'm not seeing him on the club commercials. Probably.
No, you're probably not.
Did you see Rory went back to blades? He said, "Fun little experiment."
Yeah, right.
Tag.
Yeah, I saw that. I did see that. Yeah,
That's kind of ruined that whole time.
He went back.
Yeah.
Well, again, knock yourself out. For you 3 handicaps out there that want to go to blades, go ahead. Play blades all you want. I think you'd be better off playing. I mean, you don't have to get I'm playing G430s, I think, and those are helper clubs. There's even the 730s that are you just push a button and it swings itself, which is kind of cool, but then you don't feel like you're accomplishing anything. But I'm going to...
Do you like Bay Hill, the course? Is that one of your... it's all right.
Yeah,
the one long par 5 that's like around a pond. It's kind of neat.
It's okay. It's all right. Kind of a...
Players next week is where it really...
Yeah. And that's a good course. It's a great course. But again, I kind of like old school Parkland style golf courses, really, to be honest with you. But, that's just me. But I will be cutting the ribbon, my personal ribbon, for golf Sunday. Going to play out at Oak Marsh. Going to play a little golf. So we're going to kick the rust off. And, we might have to, there's so much going on this time of year. You've got state high school hockey tournaments, pretty soon the state high school basketball tournaments, got NBA, NHL playoffs, as we just talked about. We will be knee deep in that here. NCAA tournament, March Madness, then all the NFL stuff going on. I mean, you've got, we just had the combine. Now we're going to have, free agency and then the draft. And then you got mini camps and OTAs. And then you got, Major League Baseball starting with so many things to do. Again, I always have trouble, deciding what the heck to talk about, or at least what order. So we'll probably go back to Wheel of Topic here, buddy. I can just kind of spin it around and see where it lands, and then we'll dive into that topic. Just remember with me, it's the 3 F's: faith, family, and fairways.
I always love that one.
And then it's usually it's frequency and friends, but that goes back and forth because it depends. The fake laugh is you're
doing it again.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, there you go again with your fake laugh. Friends and frequency flip flops, because if my friends can't do anything for me, well then frequency becomes more important. But if my friends can do more for me, that they move up. And I'll leave you with this. When do you start the music?
for whatever reason, it's a very short break. So you've got. We can do a live listen in with Kevin Fallon.
How much time do I have? Seriously,
you've got like 3 minutes.
Oh well, I got plenty to talk about.
Yeah,
you want me to go over my first round? I can tell you right now, I'm going to hit it right up the gut. Ask not.
Then what?
Ask not what the common man can do for you, but what can you do for the common man? Well, now I would assume. I know we're doing everything on the plus.
Yeah,
I don't know what our schedule looks like this weekend. If there's the Class A and Class AA championship games, will they be on the fan, or do we have other obligations to the pro or college clubs?
My understanding is, so starting at 6 tonight, it'll be on the Big Stick with Halvey.
Oh, okay.
Then Saturday at noon, it'll also be on the fan.
On the Big Stick.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah. But right now it's the Warroad Delano game, which, by the way, Warroad still leads 3-2. That's on our YouTube channel, because on the plus, Guardsy is calling a little Gopher women's hoops right now. So we've got you covered, and the golf round on the fan.
Yeah. All right. Can we do a live listening to Guardsy right now?
Sure.
Did you say he's doing a game right now? Guardsy is?
Yeah.
Right now?
Split a couple of Gophers at the foul line, got to the rim, laid it in with the left hand. Buckeyes lead by 5. Timeout Minnesota with 16.6 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. As the only good part about that is Cambridge jabbed by Sophie Hart and went down the left side of the lane, is that there's still 16.6 seconds left, and they didn't run the shot clock all the way down to 0.
Does he have an analyst?
Take us inside 10.
Or is he all
I
by
believe he
himself?
does.
With one timeout left, we'll have time if they can score.
Is analyst guy going to say anything?
Play the foul game a
He,
little
she?
bit here.
I think analyst gal.
To extend their Big Ten tournament stay into
Has Kat got her tongue? I mean,
semifinal against UCLA.
Guardsy likes to talk.
The Gophers will have to score.
there.
They need a 3 right away.
Ohio State leads this series 67-17. They've been one of the best programs in the Big Ten for as long as I can remember.
This is the first time I've listened to JG, because I've just never listened to. I don't listen to the play. He does a nice job. He's really good.
I play his play-by-play every time I fill in with you. I make sure to play at least one.
Yeah, but aren't those?
I think it's great.
Those are the fake ones, though, right? That you.
Yeah, those are the deuce ones.
Yeah.
Or the T-ball ones.
Yeah,
I
the
like
T-balls,
those ones
are good
too.
Well, anyways, we enjoyed our business. So there we are. Hibby and Chisholm advanced to. They're in the championship game, right? And they'll face either Warroad or Delano. And as we said, Delano's up 2-0. You look away from the screen for 3 minutes, and in about a 3-4 minute stretch, Warroad scores 3 goals. So they lead 3-2 with just under 4.5 to go in the second period. Barrera will keep you updated on that. Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job today.
Yeah, you as well. I think you did a bang-up job, and we'll talk to you again soon. Back at 12 noon on Monday, but stick around, Big Ticket. You're hanging with Big Ticket.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a long day.
I know.
Blakemore and Big Ticket next year in the fan.
Good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.